Happy Sunday. What is today? June 22nd. Mike Flanagan here with you from Inside Bowling. We've got no bowling for you today. So I know not many of you are going to be tuning in today to just listen to me talk about this exciting announcement. But those of you that are, thanks for being a diehard bowler and bowling fan. But it's great to be with you guys here today. First of all, just I want to give you guys a little update on what's happening here at our company, Inside Bowling. We've got a lot of things happening. So most of you know that have been following me for a long time. I moved back to St. Louis 2 years ago, and it's been great. It's been really, really great. It'll be almost 2 years. And with moving back, you have to do a lot of different things to get yourself reacclimated to the area, figure out what you're going to do with your business. Many of you know that a primary part of our business these days is printing apparel, making apparel, and so many of you supported us over the years, and we're selling more apparel than we ever have. So my team wouldn't let me have this live stream here today without promoting our deal of the week. So we just started the deal of the week about 4 weeks ago. We discount some items every single week. So this week, 4th of July coming up, you can pick up our 4th of July tees at Inside Bowling over on our website for just $15 each. So anyway, I want you to take advantage of that. So look for the new deal of the week every single week on Inside Bowling. Those of you that have been taking advantage of that, you're welcome. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. So that's one primary function of our business here. And I got to tell you, it's that part of our business that allows me to do so many other things that are cooler than just selling apparel. But as you guys know, if you've heard me talk about on the live streams, our whole apparel idea here is we just want you to stop buying t-shirts from Kohl's and whatever other places you do, wearing Dr. Pepper or Metallica t-shirts or Nirvana t-shirts, because we want you to wear bowling t-shirts, because we think if everybody in the world today was wearing a bowling t-shirt, more people would go bowling and our sport would be in a better place. So that's why we move our merch all the time. But that's not my big special announcement here today, is that I'm trying to panhandle a bunch of merch to you guys. But we do appreciate that, and I do need to pay the bills around here. So, can everybody hear me okay? I just want to check in the chat room here. I want to say hello to Research Goddess, Check MP in here, Gerald, Dennis Hacker's in here as well. And we've actually got a few more viewers here today than I thought we would. So that's pretty cool. Also need to take a minute to just say that if you had told me back in 2010 when we started Inside Bowling as a message board for St. Louis bowling, and to what this journey's been like, to be able to announce bowling, to be able to interact with so many great people within our industry, those that participate on the lanes as Hall of Famers, to those that operate bowling centers, to running big organizations like USBC, PBA, I would have told you you were crazy. And my guest that I'm going to get to in just a little bit, that's going to come on here and talk to you all about this special announcement we have here today. Many people don't know that this guy and myself and many others used to hang around on America Online on the AOL message boards, the YABA message boards, back when all of us just wanted to be great bowlers and eventually go on to win PBA titles and do all those things. And as much as I used to always love to bowl, all the stuff I've been able to do on the other side of the business has been just as much of a treat. I feel like every time I've been on Extra Frame or Flow Bowling or Bowl TV or our own network here at Inside Bowling, it's been really, really cool to be able to call these titles and watch these people win and achieve these great accomplishments. And it's like I'm right there with a front row seat. So the live streaming end of things has just been so much fun. And growing up, being able to watch, Dan Patrick and Stuart Scott and those guys, Keith Olbermann on ESPN, and then Bob Costas and Jack Buck and Harry Carey and all these great announcers over the years, Dan Kelly from the St. Louis Blues, to be able to broadcast and do those sorts of things. It's just been really, really awesome. So, let's talk a little bit about some events we have coming up here with Inside Bowling, which I should have had that open on my screen and I don't. So give me just a second. I want to tell you guys that we have the Next live streaming event is the Spa City Classic. Our guy Josh Imhoff down there in Little Rock, Arkansas, invited us last year. He had a great event. Michael Holloman won. Michael Holloman won 3 events on Inside Bowling last year, which was pretty incredible. Michael Holloman. So we'll see if he can repeat his title. That'll be the 18th through the 20th. I'm going down there on the 18th. We'll stream on the 19th and the 20th, and that's in July. And then in August, the first or the second weekend in August, we go back to Springfield. I believe this is the 4th year for Kevin Williams and the folks down at Springfield, Enterprise Park Lanes. We'll be live streaming the Springfield Doubles Tournament, which is always a lot of fun. The 9th and 10th, we'll be streaming that. I also want to mention that there is another live stream that I'm doing actually the weekend before on the Sunday with Dennis Hacker in Missouri for a really special Missouri event in Cape Girardeau. So we'll have a 1-day stream on the 3rd. I did overlook that. Sorry, Dennis. I know you're watching. So we've got a lot of streaming coming up. So the 11thframe.com Open was on the schedule originally for me to stream on the 23rd and 24th of August. But they moved the event up one weekend. And I am not going to be able to be at that event now. I will not be able to stream that event. So my good friend, and you all know and love him, Emil Williams Jr. at Bullstream TV, has agreed to stream the 11thframe.com Open. And I would like all of you to be able to watch some of that event that weekend, which is the 16th and 17th in Dubuque. Give a shout out to Bob Hochran and Jeff Riggles and Joe Engelkiss and his entire team. If you want to sign up for that thing, you can go over to giba-bowling.com. And those of you that bowl that thing every year, it sells out. I love streaming it last year, and I'm not going to be able to stream it this year. But everybody's cool. We're good. And the reason why I can't stream it is because of what our special announcement is here today. So because they moved the event, I thought I was going to be streaming 4 weekends in a row in August. But because of the conflict here, Emil is going to help us out, and he's going to stream the 11thframe.com Open because I have the opportunity to stream the New Mexico Open this year. And we're going to get into all the details of this because there's much more to it than just streaming the New Mexico Open this year. But I will tell you that I have had so many people reach out to me on social media or when I'm live streaming events that say, Mike, over the years, you've streamed some great events. You've ran some great events. You have had the IB Open, a lot of different events over the years. And you and your staff have, done an amazing job running these tournaments. And you need to bring some of them back. Well, I needed a little bit of time, in St. Louis to be able to get back into the swing of things and knowing what I can and can't do. So the holiday doubles, as all you guys know, sells out. We've got G squad now. What is it? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 squads in a massive bowling center at St. Clair Bowl. And Jerry Anderson and the tournament team there, it works out great. So it was about a month ago, I guess, that I had my good friend who used to hang out on the AOL message boards with me give me a shout. And his name's Mike Fagan, and we're going to bring him on here in a minute. He just recently purchased his first bowling center, which has always been a dream of mine, to own my own bowling center. So I was really, really happy for Mike that he was able to achieve, one of those goals and dreams. And the New Mexico Open has been ran for many, many years by Steve Mackey, who's a legend. I mean, if you want to look up bowling in New Mexico, he's a legend, right? And he moved on and sold the center to Mike, and Mike took over the tournament. And Steve has worked all of his relationships over the years, and now Mike's the new guy coming in, trying to make sure that this event is as good, if not better, than it ever has been, right? And when you take over a bowling center, you got a lot of other responsibilities to do. So he was involved in operating the tournament. And shout out to Carl Ong, who was going to be involved in the event, but just because of other reasons, he just wasn't able to commit to follow through with it. So Carl Long's not going to be able to be involved with it. So Mike called me and asked if I would have interest in being involved. And I said, well, let's talk about it. And we are going to be working together on the New Mexico Open. So we're really, really happy about it. Um, Inside Bowling is actually going to be running the event. So those of you that have been asking for Inside Bowling to run the event, it is a partnership with 10 Pins and More Bowling Center, and we're going to be running the event. Now, I can't possibly run the event myself because I'm live streaming the whole time. So I called up my good friend who's ran tournaments with me and Jeff Carter and folks like that all the way back to 2010 with me. Dennis Hacker, who has gone on to become the USBC president of all things. Who would have thought, Dennis, in 2010, when we started doing all this stuff, that many moons later, I would have had the journey I've had and the journey you've had to be USBC president. But Dennis is going to be the tournament director. Dennis is going to run the entire back office. So between Mike Fagan, the new proprietor, who's been my friend since I was 12 years old, 13 years old, obviously he's had a great PBA career. We haven't even talked about that. But now he's in the operations side and he owns his own business. And I own my own business here. And we've been running good tournaments. So we're going to partner up. And Emil at Bowlstream used to stream the event, and he's done a tremendous job. But because we're coming in to run the event, that's why I am streaming it. It's nothing bad against Emil or anything like that. And I'm so happy that Emil is able to go over and stream the 11thframe.com Open. So we are taking over the New Mexico Open with Mike Fagan. And I think I've talked enough. I'd like to bring on our partner and my friend from back in the day. I'd like to bring Mike on now. Hey, Mike, how's it going, bud?
Hey, Mike. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for agreeing to come on with Inside Bowling. We're super excited, and we know that you're going to run a fantastic event and obviously a very entertaining live stream.
Yeah, and I'm hoping you're going to spend some time in that booth and we'll be able to talk about AOL message boards.
Absolutely, yes. We'll bring back we'll have better internet, though. We won't have any dial-up internet connections there, so we'll have no more, no buffering. But yes, it would be fantastic. I'll be on site the entire event plus some, and we'll get in the booth and we'll chop it up. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and hey, man, publicly, I want to thank you for calling me and thinking of me when you needed some help promoting this event, because that's what we've done here at Inside Bowling. We promote events, we go and live stream them, and we help proprietors out and tournament directors fill up their tournaments. So thanks for thinking of us.
Well, I mean, what you guys have done with the holiday doubles is remarkable. And if we can have just a sliver of that success with the New Mexico Open, we're going into our 21st year here with the New Mexico Open. I competed in it when I was touring as a pro in 2014, and it's still going strong after 20 years. So this will be the 21st edition of the New Mexico Open, and it's my responsibility as the new proprietor of 10 Pins and More to bring it all together again. So I'm excited. We've got a couple months until the event hits, and we're looking to bring on as many people as possible to have a fantastic turnout, fantastic prize fund, and most importantly, just a really fun event where a lot of people can get together and enjoy themselves together.
Yeah, and that's what most of the Inside Bowling events are about. Yeah, there's some money available, and there's an opportunity for bowlers to come in and pad their pocketbooks and getting some brackets, but it's more about the getting together and having a party and celebrating bowling and having a great event. So can you give us the details of this event? I know you've got a fancy schmancy way of doing that. So
I think I can. Yes. Would
oh,
you look at
boom.
that? I have it prepared. So yeah, August 14th through the 17th, we are going to be at 10 Pins and More in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. We're projecting $10,000 for first. And we've got a kind of a big announcement here at Inside Bowling as to how we're going to achieve that and maybe more. But I will tell you a little bit more about the event before I get into that top secret information that just dropped recently. So when some of the best times that I had bowling as a pro was traveling to bowl in the European Tour circuit. And all of those events were exactly what I'm trying to achieve right now. Um, Make sure we have a challenging pattern, make sure we have a great group of people that get together and enjoy themselves, and obviously have some money to be available for people to win. Um, but the one thing that I loved about the European tour is the way that the tournament was structured, the re-entries, how the entry fee adjusted as the week went on. And I knew for this event, the New Mexico Open was very important for the local bowler of the Albuquerque metro and New Mexico area. So I wanted to make sure that we had some squads that were kind of designated towards them. Thursday is going to be our first day, and I know most people coming from out of town may not be able to make it in that early. So, kind of gearing that Thursday squad towards the local bowler. Obviously, people from out of town are welcome to come in, but it would make for a longer weekend. So Thursday's entry is a little bit less, $200 to enter. Friday's a little bit more, $250, and then Saturday, if you come in late, your first entry is going to be $300. Your re-entry is going to be $50 less than your original entry. And all of this, if you've ever bowled or ever heard of the European Bowling Tour, it kind of falls in line with some of that. So incentivizing people to get into town a little bit early. If you're a local, you can take advantage of some of those lower entry fees, but also, allows people to re-enter at a little bit lower rate as well and still bowl for some good money. Our goal is to pay 1 in 4 spots. We're going to pay 1 in 4 spots for every unique entry. We're hoping to get about 125 to 130 unique bowlers to come in, which would make the top 32 who is going to make the finals on Sunday all cash. What I forgot to mention is that Thursday and Friday, all 4 of those squads, the winner will be guaranteed in the finals on Sunday. So if Saturday everyone blows the doors off of it, those folks will still be guaranteed in the finals from Thursday and Friday. So yeah, 1 in 4 cash ratio. We're hoping to pay double or triple your money for making the finals, and then with a 10,000 purse on top. Part of that $10,000 is going to be helped by a new sponsor that we just got brought in, which is Brunswick Bowling. They're going to be contributing to that prize fund. They're going to be contributing to the event. We're really excited to bring them on as our title sponsor. We've got some great relationships over there at Brunswick and Hammer and all of the brands of Brunswick now. It's exciting to be a part with them, and I think we're gonna continue to kind of make calls to the sponsors of yesteryear. Steve Mackey was a phenomenal proprietor, and he did a fantastic job with this event, building it up. And I'm hoping that over the course of the next couple months, we can start bringing on even more sponsors and really boost up the prizes that are available for all the bowlers coming into town.
Yeah, pretty awesome. And obviously, this event's been going on for a long time. I told people this, right? In my own way, if you ever played the game Monopoly, and if you had a tournament Monopoly, bowling tournament Monopoly, the New Mexico Open would be one of the green properties, right? It's like one of the flagship bowling tournaments, right? That's just been around forever. Many, many years ago, I wanted to connect Brad Edelman's events with the Bud Light Challenge up northeast, with the New Mexico Open, my IB Open at the time, and I wanted to figure out a way to put everything together. I think there was a big event that Eric DeFreitas down in Atlanta, and I always had that dream of wanting to do something like that. And this event has always been one I've always thought, I put up on a pedestal and looked up to. So when you called me and you took over being the proprietor of the center, it's only been a few months. I know that you probably wish you'd have bought the center a little bit sooner so you'd have more time to ramp up for this. But this is the way that it is. But the wonderful thing about this, Mike, is we want everybody to rally and come and continue to support this event if you have in the past. Or if you're somebody that's part of my network or just have been on the fence of going out to Albuquerque to be part of this, we want you to come this year because we are a little behind the 8 ball. We actually do need a little bit of help to get some bowlers there to make it what we want it to be. Not that it's not, I mean, it's going to be good no matter what, but we want this thing to be one of those events where people are talking about, man, you got to get in early. We want to sell this thing out. We want this to be holiday doubles 2.0, IB open days type stuff. So we want people to rush and sign up and commit to bowling this event. I know there's a lot of my friends and people in the Midwest that are already committed to 11thframe.com open. We want them to go continue to bowl that tournament. There's plenty of bowlers to go around for that weekend. We're also looking into possibly making it so the events aren't on the same weekend next year if it all works out for the proprietors. We don't know, but just being full transparent with this, that's what we're looking to do. As far as the live stream is concerned, I'm going to be there. Mike's going to be there. We're going to have guests coming in and out of the booth. Mike mentioned Brunswick. We work very closely with Brunswick here. Hammer's owned by Brunswick, as you mentioned, Mike. So we're going to be running bowling ball specials. We're going to be running special deals on tees and hoodies and all that kind of stuff all weekend to support our sponsor. We can activate the sponsorship. The audience can activate the sponsorship, so they'll continue to want to give back to this event. So I think that's awesome. I got a quick question for you. One of the big things about this tournament in the past has always been they're not easy. What is the plan of attack when it comes to putting down a condition, and what is your idea of scoring pace since you made the change with re-entries? Are you changing the pattern at all?
I think we want to continue that tradition of making the lanes challenging. I mean, the lanes themselves are 10-year-old HPL. So, I mean, there's going to be friction built into them already. Not looking to necessarily change the topography or anything like that when it comes to the lanes, but putting out a challenging pattern. So, we're in the range of, let's call it 210 to 220 scoring pace. And make 250 a really, really good game. I'm not saying it's going to be unachievable. I don't want to make them ridiculously hard where we're just throwing headhunters at the headpin like a Peterson tournament. But I do think, for me, the gold standard was always the U.S. Open, and that for the best pros in the world, the scoring pace was somewhere in the neighborhood of 215. Okay, we're not going to have every single pro show up to this event, but I still think that we can get to that 215 number without necessarily making them quite as challenging as the U.S. Open. So, I mean, it's going to be flat. Mike, you and I will consult on how we think that is going to look. We'll certainly test as many shots as we can to, get to a place where it's challenging, but not egregious. And, we're challenging the bowler. But I think that's also where this year's change of re-entry versus single entry helps justify folks who might want to come in from a little bit longer of a distance. So, previously it was, I believe, an 8-game qualifier, 8 games, and you're kind of getting one shot at it. There was some practice squad, so I mean, it was positioned more like the format of a PBA regional versus this is an event that I think if we can get people to come in from out of town, I don't want them to necessarily show up and have a couple bad games and be out. I'd like them to have another chance to re-enter, have some opportunity. And I mean, for me, going all the way to like a European style event, traveling across an ocean, I think it would have been hard for me to justify an event that didn't have a re-entry in those situations. So, my goal is to try to really spread this out. Right now, there has been a lot of bowlers that come from Texas, from New Mexico, obviously, from Arizona, Colorado, all the bordering states. A lot of people, willing to take that 5, 6, 7 hour drive into Albuquerque from the outskirts, other states surrounding. But I really want to open this up to the rest of the country. I mean, especially bowlers in the Midwest. Albuquerque is kind of this hidden gem when it comes to scenery. And, if you're outdoorsy, maybe come a day early, stay a day late. There's so much beauty there to be had. And I, certainly want to encourage people to take advantage of that if they take the trip.
Cool. And I think because we didn't really, put together bullet points for this, we were just going to kind of, shoot from the hip with everybody that's watching, and we're getting some good response right now. You and I plan on working together with Dennis for multiple years to come. This is not just 1 year and done. Like, we want to be working together as long ago as the AOL message boards were back in 1996 or 5. That was 30 years ago, Mike. What if we're working on this tournament 30 years from now, right? I mean, that's the goal, right?
That'd be incredible. Yes. No, I mean, our goal is to keep this event going, make sure that it's bigger and better than ever, and continue to grow it. I mean, it started in 2004. It started as mostly an event that was for the city of Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico. But since then, there's been a lot of PBA players that have won the event, that have traveled to the event. I know Wichita State likes to send a lot of their players into town. There was a bowler who actually is from New Mexico that bowled for Wichita State. His father Dennis, is a staple at 10 pins and more. So we get a lot of Wichita State alums and Wichita State bowlers that come into town. And I think that they realize that it's a challenging event. And it's a great place to kind of test their skills, if you will.
Yeah, that's awesome. So take me through, let's say I'm a bowler and I live in, I don't know, let's just pick Idaho. I live in Idaho and I'm thinking about bowling this tournament, right? So I'm going to make the trip down. I might drive or fly. I'm kind of on the border. I'm not sure if I'm going to drive or fly, but I'm going to come down to this thing and I'm going to get there on Friday, right? I'm going to get there on Friday. So I'm going to be able to bowl like a Friday afternoon squad. And then there's a pro-am that night, which we haven't talked about. And then I'm going to re-enter on Saturday. Hopefully I don't need to. If I cash in the tournament, how much money am I getting for making the cash in the tournament?
Yeah, our goal is to have it be triple your entry fee. So I mean, our largest entry fee is $300. We're really hoping that last cash is going to pay $900. So I think that for most people is going to cover their expenses, especially if they're maybe sharing a drive or sharing a hotel room or an Airbnb or something like that. And if you're entering once, there's going to be more margin on that. If you're entering a couple times, maybe cuts into some of that. But we're also hoping to run a lot of brackets, a lot of pots, and kind of get people involved that way, even if they're not necessarily cashing in the event. They still have an opportunity to win some money as well. So I want to make sure that everyone who makes the finals on Sunday is able to pay for their trip plus some, put a little cash in their pocket, and obviously if they have a nice day on Sunday and make it through the field, they're going to be cashing in a really nice check.
Yeah, and now so Mike is saying, that we're hoping to do this. This is what it should be. But I can tell you, Mike, what your degrees, your background in finance. I remember when we were in college, we used to call you Faganomics. You're a very analytical mind. And you and I and Dennis met a couple times already to go over a projected prize list just based off of a mediocre or under promise, over deliver type projection. So as long as this thing gets supported at the level that it has in the past, that should not be a problem to attain that whatsoever with the added sponsorship dollars and with the re-entries in that. So when we put together those projections, all three of us agreed, the USPC president, myself, and you, Mike, we all decided that that's probably not going to be any sort of an issue whatsoever to be able to deliver on what you just said. I realize you had to say hoping because you don't want to, give any false pretenses out there, but this thing should be a slam dunk. I mean, it should be a piece of cake.
Absolutely. We've got 20 years of history behind us. We're optimistic that we're going to hit our goals, and partnering with someone like yourself, Mike, and Inside Bowling, that opens the doors for a lot of opportunity for people from all around the country, not just the Midwest, but all around the country to show up and, maybe play it in an environment that they haven't played in before or visit a new place that they haven't visited before. It's been maybe 20 years since the Open Championship came to Albuquerque. I'm not sure the last time, but I mean, most of the bowlers may not have been alive then. So getting to, like, for example, I just bowled in the Open Championships in Baton Rouge. It was a complete bloodbath. It was probably it was horrible for me bowling personally, but I never bowled in Louisiana. It was just another state to kind of check off my list. So I mean, New Mexico can be that for a lot of people who have maybe never traveled to that part of the country or had an opportunity to go there and make an excuse to say, well, yeah, I'm going to check it out. I mean, Santa Fe is the oldest state capital in the country. Uh, there's 300 days of sunshine in New Mexico. There's a lot of cool things about New Mexico that kind of get overlooked when you're looking at like the landscape. Most people, it ends up becoming a flyover to Vegas. So, I think having some of that kind of, hey, check this tournament out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I certainly want to do it the right way. I certainly want to have the right people involved. And, I want to have a really high level competitive tournament. And yes, I want to pay as much as we can possibly pay. It's going to be my job to go out and get more sponsors. And we want to thank Brunswick very much for coming on and being the title sponsor of the event. Very excited to work with them. And, for the next 2 months, I'm going to be, banging on doors, trying to get people to show up and also trying to get more sponsors, which hopefully one hand will wash the other there. And the more funds we have in the prize fund, the more people are going to want to come and give their, take a shot at it.
Yeah. And to our audience that's watching on Inside Bowling, I say this all the time about proprietors, and Mike is no different. Mike, you're going to be, spending some money investing into that bowling center. And we know that where the proprietors really make their money is with open play and parties, period. Especially on the weekends, right? So one of the first questions, everybody, I asked Mike was, why the hell are you going to keep doing this tournament? Right? Why wouldn't you just make all that money and get your center, being a cash cow on that weekend? And Mike replied to me that he wants to continue to be able to give back to the sport of bowling and keep this tournament alive, because of professional bowling is something that meant a great deal to part of Mike's lifetime, right? He was a professional bowler, won 5 times on tour. And he wants to continue that legacy and wants to make sure that his center can be showcased at least one weekend a year with a tournament that's on everybody's map, so he can see some of his friends come in and out of town, and that he can hand out a check to someone that earned it, because that fire and that's how you got into bowling, and you want to continue to take bowling forward, right, Mike?
100%. My life would have never been the same if it weren't for bowling and the opportunities and the doors that bowling opened for me. So I want to give that opportunity to the next generation, no doubt about it. I want to make sure that, yes, I want to build up the business of 10 pins and more. That's going to include parties. That's going to include events. That's going to include open play. The more successful that I can be at those buckets, the more generous that I can be with the avid bowler. And I think that that's really the dream of mine, is to be able to be very generous with the youth player, the tournament player, the league player, and make sure that they have an avenue, they have a facility that they can go to for these type of things. Now, is it going to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week tournament leagues? No, I still have to be able to pay for that somehow, subsidize it somehow, and that's going to be through building up my league and tournament, my open play events and party business. So how do we kind of hit on all cylinders so that these type of events can be possible, and that they can, from a financial standpoint, how can I be more generous with the league and tournament bowler? And it's by, making money in other avenues.
Yeah, that's great. I just wanted to get it on the record. So, again, folks, if you're just tuning in, Mike Fagan has purchased 10 Pins and More Bowling Center in New Mexico, home of the New Mexico Open. He has taken over the event because Steve Mackey has retired. Mike, myself, and the USBC president, Dennis Hacker, are all hooking up to bring the New Mexico Open to you this year and for many years to come. We're going to try to make it as best as we possibly can. We're looking forward to live streaming the event and also running the event, and we invite all of you to come out and be part of it this year and for many, many years to come. We've got some great new sponsors coming on board. Lanes are going to be hard. Lanes will be tough. For more information, because there's still a few I's we have to dot and a few T's we have to cross. But we'll be releasing a lane pattern sometime here in the near future. We have a new tournament flyer that is going to be coming out, courtesy of all people, Robin Orlikowski and her great marketing company. She's working on that. So Mike has got, Robin Orlikowski involved in this thing. Shout out to Robin, Billy Orlikowski. You guys all know the Orlikowskis from Brunswick and Morehead State. Robin Crawford, she won a national title. Many people don't know she was on that team. Everybody just remembers Kelly Kulik's double in the 10th. Great bowler, Robin. We got to get Billy to come bowl. That's it. We need Billy to come bowl the tournament. We got to make that happen. But that's what we have going on, everybody. And Inside Bowling will be giving you updates on this tournament on all of our social media. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We'll definitely be getting that out. And Mike, if people want to sign up, I got a scrolling thing at the bottom, but where do people go, and how will you be communicating updates for the event?
Yeah, the easiest way is going to be go to tenpinsmore.com. We also have the domain newmexicoopen.org that people can go to. That'll bring them directly to the sign-up page. We're taking entries online. You'll find a link to a Stripe page, and we'll also take entries for the Pro-Am there. If people are interested in bowling in the Pro-Am, I am going to come out of retirement and bowl in the Pro-Am. I think I can handle 3 games with no tap. So that's another big announcement, we'll see where that goes, but I'll be there supporting the event, obviously, and building up to it for the next couple months as best I can. So if you need to email the tournament directly, info@tenpinsmore.com is going to be a good email. And obviously, signing up through the website is going to be the easiest way. Now, I would recommend, right now, we are not, and I will certainly communicate as we get more entries. We've got a good amount of entries so far. We're not in, a mode where we're at capacity by any means yet. So there's still an opportunity to sign up. I would recommend signing up for your first entry online. And then if you need one when you get to the center, or you feel like you want to reserve a second spot because spots are getting thin on the weekend, let's say, I will communicate how entries are coming in. And, I think most people can probably wait until they get there. But if the floodgates open and we do get more entries, I will certainly communicate that to all of our entrants via email and through the website, tenpinsmore.com, and our Facebook channel, tenpinsmore, facebook.com/tenpinsmore.
Cool. All right, man. Anything else you think we need to cover? You think we got it all?
I think we're good. And since Dennis is coming aboard, thank you, Dennis, again, for agreeing to come aboard. We're really excited about having Dennis there, but it will be a sanctioned tournament. So we're going to need sanctioning cards and sanctioning numbers, guys. So I'm sure most of the people have them. But we certainly could not have the USBC president run our tournament and have it not be sanctioned.
Exactly. Yeah, we talked about that. So yeah, we're excited to sanction this thing. That's for sure. Mike and I will be doing a bit of a podcast tour. We're kicking things off today here on Inside Bowling because it just made the most sense. But you may see us talking more about this event. Tonight we're going to be on Sweep the Rack talking about this event. So if you have any other questions, I'm sure those guys are going to have more hard-hitting questions for us. Tune into that coming up in about 20 minutes. Check out Sweep the Rack. I think we're going to be doing something with Brunswick this week, and then Beef and Barnsley as well. So we're hitting the circuit. We're trying to promote this thing and let people know to come out. And I know Mike's all pumped up about, if you come all the way out, you need to be able to re-enter. Well, my goal is to get it to where you get one shot because we're full. So that's just something I'm trying to do, but we'll see what happens.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for your.
I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, me too. And it's already been fun so far behind the scenes. So, Mike, thank you very much. I'll wrap this up.
All right, everybody. Thanks. See you in New Mexico.
So there you have it, everybody. That's our big announcement. and we're looking forward to working with Mike and his staff. Again, I'm super proud of him for having his own bowling center now. It's been a dream of mine. Maybe one day I'll get there. But in the meantime, I'll just keep partnering with great folks in our industry. Dennis Hacker, Mike Fagan, two of the best people I've ever come across. And I wouldn't be giving up my Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in August if I didn't want to go be around those people running an event and interacting with you guys, our audience. You guys know I kind of call it like it is and tell you what I'm feeling at the time. And I'm really pumped up about this one. It gives me IB Open feels like we don't have an IB Open, but the New Mexico Open's gonna help fill that void because I'm gonna be working with my boy Dennis again, and Mike doesn't know it yet, but he's definitely going to be running scores on an iPad around the bowling center, and he's going to love it. And he's probably going to sit in that booth while I go eat lunch sometime and run the booth and click cameras. So I'm looking forward to working with Mike. Like I said, before he was the king of swing and before he was the PBA champion, he was just a cool guy that wanted to be a Pro Bowler one day, just like many of us. And that's pretty cool. So that's going to do it. Watch Sweep the Rack coming up tonight. We'll have, if you think of something, you can ask us there. And we're looking forward to chatting it with Big Mike and Rob coming up on Sweep the Rack. Have a good day, everybody. Don't forget to tune in to our stream coming up here in July, the Spa City Classic. And stay tuned to all our social media. Who knows? We might have some other things dropping like I found some unbelievable chamois, and I'm going to be able to customize them and be able to bring them to you guys. But I'll talk to you about that at another time. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you soon.